Okie dokie. We're ready when you are.
All right, let's do it.
Let's
Let's go
rock and
live.
roll.
Okay, so last time, last time we didn't meet, but the time before that, um, you guys had an interesting situation where I wasn't even quite sure exactly what was going on, but we dealt with finally after a very I don't know how many episodes it took, but we finally introduced three of them actually. The sought out, the rare owlbear, snowy owlbear that Oz has been looking for quite some time, and yeah, we had a kind of a wild goose chase in terms of Silo going after Oz, having a little bit of call it a kerfuffle, a little mini altercation there in terms of trying to get um, Oz back, and you know, as Oz came across these little cubs, I think that's the term for them. I'm assuming because that's what you call them for bears, but I don't know what's the like babyish for owls. Like, does anyone know that? Like owlets or something?
And they're owlets.
So it's like cublets. Um, but anyhow, so as you kind of had a little mini combat, you don't really fight them per se, more of just kind of getting away. And at the other end of things, you have your friends kind of keep continuing going on south. They pick up well, it's kind of all this is all happening all at once, but you guys pick up a couple of stragglers, saying that they were attacked by said owlbear, or at least the mom, and you take him back into the outside gates of Brinchander, where as you're kind of waiting in line to get into the town, well, I guess if anything's going to be a city, it's Brinchander out of all of the 10 towns here in terms of size. Um, you note that they're kind of like being a little dodgy, a little bit shady, and Bophades kind of steps up and is just like, "Nah, I think you guys are on your own." He gave him a little bit of a kind of a
Gotta give him the old what for.
little what for? Yeah, I guess that's the best way of putting it. And yeah, so you send him inside. As you're waiting in line, though, as well, Jimothy spots the a description somewhat matching of the individual you're looking for, a Cephalic Caltro. Um, and so that's kind of where we kind of left off as you guys got into the city, or into the town. You're given kind of like free pass for the most part, and then we are having the two individuals, Oz and Asilo, get back, and kind of you guys rejoining and then figure out what's going on. I mean, once you guys get into the inside of the city, that's you don't see anyone that's kind of matching description, but you do see that some people are congregating into a certain spot. Okay, so any questions, update things you guys want to hash out? Any things you want to bring up?
Was there actually a third owlbear cub that actually would have latched on to Asilo and Oz leaving without them knowing? Like, a
Um,
ninja snowy owlbear cub.
so keep in mind, right, like, and how I'm interpreting this, right, like, owlbears are about the size, or if not larger, than like, especially the snowy ones, like a polar bear, a couple 1,000 pound, maybe more thing. So a cub probably weighs, if not 100 pounds, maybe definitely not noticeable. So you would probably as you're latched on, it would probably notice it would like not just like sneak into your back pocket or something like that. It's not a chewinga, that's for sure. So the answer is no.
Well, I
But
tried, team. I really tried. Imagine if we had this mythical creature on our side. Nothing would be able to stand it before us.
I mean, you've seen him once. You could see him again. It's not like it's you're gonna die today. Okay, let me knock on some wood.
Challenge accepted. Asilo's
Concern.
pissed right now.
You're
Yeah.
just like,
I'm surrounded by particle board, so knocking on wood isn't an option for me.
okay, so we'll kind of pick it up. We'll start out with the two of you heading back. So okay, I guess we'll kind of start there. What are you guys doing, saying? What are you guys thinking? What are your thoughts? Anything you want to hash out? Combat to the death. I'm ready for the initiative. Are you guys ready?
Oz will. He spent time just kind of trying to map out the region and where the owlbears were.
That's right. Did you want to roll for that? Would be a good. You have cartography tools, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
you.
think
Did
it
you roll
auto
for that last time?
Yeah, I
I
think
don't-
you rolled for it last time.
Did I?
And it's in the
Yes,
chat.
you. Yeah, I see in the chat here. Okay.
It is in the chat, but to be fully transparent, I'm not sure if Celsa, you asked for the roll, because like when I click, it auto rolls when I click the little die next to it,
Oh, I see. Okay.
but it throws it in the chat. So I mean,
Okay. I mean, if you're fine with doing a fresh check on that, I'm okay with that. So, if you want to roll again? Well,
Okay.
not.
I
yeah,
was-
roll again from
I
there.
was proving a point with the whole auto roll thing.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you
I guess.
roll that.
I guess it's not even right because I think I'm proficient in cartography tools.
Wondering why it's only a +4.
Well, that would be the intelligence bonus, but I'm trying to remember where I get that from.
Your background, probably, right?
Yeah, probably. I'll just roll again.
Okay.
I'm gonna use inspiration, the one that you just gave out.
I feel like this would be an appropriate time to use that.
Okay, and if I figure out if I have proficiency, that'll be a 17.
Okay. So yeah, we'll say that you go through. I mean, this takes time, right? It's not like you're kind of riding back. It's not exactly like. I feel like you kind of get the rough outline. You kind of really try to memorize, really, and then you roughly construct something. But and I think this would kind of just make sense in general, right? Like you note whatever you can note. You make the descriptions, and then you kind of outline where you are geographically based on whatever landmarks you have, and then you're going to go back to I don't know, a different map or a more detailed and kind of reference, and then clean it up. That's typically how I envision some of these rules. It's not like that you're this is it, you can't do any better than this, but this is kind of like a stepping stone when you have better resources or something like that. If this isn't proved to be sufficient to get back, then you could try with something else. So just keep in the back of your mind as you're kind of going around different cities, if you can, or meet someone else that also has different maps that could help you improve on this or provide you more information. Um, okay, so you have that. Does anyone, or give me the two of you guys? You're heading back. Why don't you give me some survival checks as well?
Say, and before we had gotten too far away from where we were, I said I'd look for a like distinct tree or something that I could remember,
Mm-hmm.
just so we know that is, or rock or something, so we know that that's
Right.
there. And a survival check.
There it is. That would have been a 17.
Okay.
I guess I'm tired too. The clearly denoted background section was real hard for me to find in the character sheet. I'm just like, where is it?
No worries. Yeah, I'm a little out of it right now, so we'll see how long I can hang here. Okay, so with 13, 15. Okay, so it's you're kind of fortunate enough that the conditions aren't bad today. So you're able to kind of. It's not like you were zigzagging through all these bluffs and everything. You kind of like take the time, you refined your tracks a little bit because you guys were sprinting, right? Like, or you're dashing with your animals. And so whatever marks you love here, it's not too difficult to line back. Yes, actually dashing through the snow, exactly. So you get back to the trail. The only thing though is kind of by the time this happens, not that much time is lost, but it is going to be that you're going to be and getting into the dark. So are you guys going to kind of push through a little bit of the darkness to kind of, you're not that far out. I remember you rolled this beforehand. So do you plan on pushing through to kind of like get into the town tonight, or are you going to try to settle up in the evening? Do both of you have like dark vision, or do you guys have like torches out? What do you guys do as the night kind of settles in?
I mean, I would have to probably light another torch because I do not have dark.
Okay.
But my preference would be to push through.
Okay. Do you feel the same way, Oz?
I do. Given our distance, and however you want to play this, I'm going to attempt to focus on the Phantom Steed ritual.
Okay.
To try and unburden the silos. Is it a moose?
Yes.
Still a moose, I believe, yeah.
It is a
Okay.
moose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Oh, that was supposed to be for everyone.
okay. Yeah, I would say that it takes you, it takes you a little bit longer to do it, in terms of not like that much longer, but like you definitely struggle to get the motions out, but it also is I don't anticipate you guys like fully dashing back where you're not able to somewhat to be able to do this. That's something that I guess I never really thought about in this kind of like this setting per se, is that like, when you say something is a ritual, I guess like how like easy it is to do certain things. Like, I don't know, does anyone have any calling? Like, you're just kind of like, when I think of like a ritual, right? Like it's like systematic, everything's got to be nice and like kind of well done, not necessarily rushed per se. You're not on a moose riding.
I
think
think
the
like
language
slow and
explicit.
methodical. Yeah, slow and methodical. Everything is exacted. I guess I don't know. That's why you're focusing on it for a longer period of time because I don't know. It's not something you're just like, hey, done.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like you have to maintain concentration, I think, when you're doing rituals.
So how about
Imagine
this?
it's like someone trying to meditate and it's like, can I shut up, please?
Yeah. And like,
How is that not?
if it was something like, I don't know, like, you're trying to like raise the dead or something like that. Then that'd be like, okay, you can't do that on the back or something like that, or back of a moose. But for now, anyhow, this is fine for Phantom Steed. I'll definitely allow this. But I just came to a moment. I was just like, is this something that like, for every ritual spell could you do like in this kind of situation? As of right now, I'm leaning towards no, but unless something says otherwise.
The only mechanics say that the ritual takes 10 minutes longer to cast. They must be able to cast a ritual.
Yeah, like you're not limited by like mechanical reasoning, mechanics purposes.
Certain
Anyhow, we don't have to
spells
dwell on this too much. It's just something I thought.
require more time to cast. You just have to maintain concentration. I don't know. I mean, if your concentration is broken, the spell fails, including trying to ritual cast a spell. I mean, there's nothing that says I can't do this, but if you want to do like a Arcana check or
No.
case by case basis, then
yeah, we'll do it by case. Like, let's say if you were trying to cast something a little bit like, a little bit that I feel like would require you to have like components, like you were trying to use like runes or something like, or like on the
this one's verbal and somatic, I guess.
Yeah. So I feel like that's
Lehman's tiny hut. Trying to cast that as a ritual when moving seems to go against the tiny hut itself.
Right. And so, yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I think that might be the delineator kind of moving forward. So,
or you cast it and it's at the spot that you were in when you started casting it, but then the wizard's out of it, so it just fails.
Okay. Well, well, if it comes to that point, we're gonna try to do that on as you're moving. Then we'll revisit it. But for now, anyhow. Okay. So the two of you decide to push on. Okay. So we'll say, just to kind of bring you guys back in to the rest of the squad, hopefully at some point, we'll say that you guys do push through. It's not too late where like you start, having to roll saves, that you're exhausted or anything like that. So you do there are some people that weren't able to get into the town tonight, that are like kind of all sort of like little tiny caravans, little like a few carts, few little wagons, mainly like sleds that are like kind of put together, and they're huddled up, and they have a little fire there that they're trying to maintain. It's not too difficult considering like the weather isn't horrible this time around. But you guys kind of see that in they're a little bit off the road there. So you guys could check in on them if you want, or just kind of make it to the gates.
Trying to locate our party.
Mm-hmm.
I will cast Locate Object on Ophades' bagpipes and see if he's in 1,000 feet of us.
Okay. 1,000 feet.
Yeah,
that's pretty close. That'd be close to the gate, right? Not
You guys aren't. Yeah, but like I mean, like while Brinchander is the largest city, it's not like multiple miles long. I guess I'm trying to think where you are in the city. Let me see. Let me take a look at.
We're on our way to return a coursing cart and
Yeah,
find our Steppe Caltro dude.
Right. Okay. I would say that's close enough. That you do get the ping there, Silo.
Okay.
So
I will use that information to direct us back to the rest of our.
Okay. So you have to get through the gates first. So the guards kind of stop you. They're like, sorry, we're not letting anyone into the city until the morning.
The rest of our group is inside. The Southerners. We've been through here before.
Oh, yes. Yes. I think yes. Your friend mentioned that the two of you would come. I was wondering if you were actually going to come tonight. Yes. Right. He's like, and then he kind of like calls out to the guy. He's like, "Hey, open it up real quick." And
This is a surefire way to piss off everyone else that's stuck outside.
you notice that like a pile of like dung is flying in the air. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Yeah,
we found the
it's-
lightning lane. It's not our fault.
Yeah,
we got
paid
fast
for
pass.
fast pass or whatever VIP treatment. Yeah, what is it? You like go like multi pass and just gonna start waving it around. Okay, so you guys are in. You guys get onto the other side of the gates. And you start kind of following suit, and we'll kind of jump to the other folks as they're returning the horse and cart.
Yeah, let's get that cart returned.
I think Zoran paid for it, right? So she's got to get her money back.
We did.
Yeah.
I get my money.
So
Made
the
him
guy that-
rewrite that receipt twice.
So you got like a kind of like a maybe like late teens kind of kid working the stables. He's just like, "Hi, what can I do for you?"
I need to return this horse and cart, and I need 50 gold deposit back, please. Here's my receipt.
Where's my money?
And it looks kind of rough, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, where'd you come from?"
It's down the road. I don't know why that town, charged me so much for a deposit. I've never paid this much for a deposit before.
And he's just like, "Wait, which town down the road? There's a lot of towns down the road."
Where do we go?
Lonelywood.
Lonelywood.
And he's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's not just down the road." Um, he's just like,
Down the road compared to, the South, the Southerners, where we're from.
he's like,
No
"Oh,"
relation.
and he's just like, "All right, okay." So he like goes, and he's like, Can I have this?"
I have what?
The receipt. He's like holding the receipt.
You can have it after I get my deposit back.
And he's like, yeah, I'll be right back. And so he goes, and he doesn't go very far. He goes like kind of like you kind of notice there's like little like chest there, kind of like towards like as you're at the stables. Like it looks like he keeps the chest or something like in one of the stables, and like goes and retrieves the money, and it's like in a pouch, and he's just like, "All right, here you go," and he like hands it to you.
So I'm gonna count it really quick because I'm not trusting this whole little system now.
Okay. You do notice that it's short. Like, it's short like 2 gold.
I'm gonna tell him, hey, there's only 48 gold in here. It's supposed to be 50.
Oh, okay. And like he goes back and he comes back and he gets you 2 other gold. He's like, "Here you go."
Perfect.
Man,
Give you a
everyone's-
5-star review. Unlike that other guy in Lonelywood. He's such a jerk.
So he's just bad at mouth. He wasn't actually trying to be a dickhead. Not this time, anyway. As this is happening, the 2 of you approach the party, you see your Bophades, Jimothy, and well, Ozorn's a little bit busy, but you notice that often a few, about 100 feet away from, so kind of turning the corner, you see Silo and Oz approaching the stables. You guys jump, run into each other's arms. What's happening?
You know, Asilo, I think you were happy you followed. I mean, you got to see some of the most majestic creatures in existence. Now, one of them seemed a bit angry, but you know, these things happen.
I agree. They are amazing and magnificent creatures, but we must learn not to let our obsessions rule our actions.
Yeah, probably not going to pay attention to that. But, you know.
I'm all right.
We made it back safe. We remember the general area. Maybe when we finish our task here, we can go search for them again as a proper group.
Well, I'm hoping, you know, in not too much more time, I can maybe teleport us, and then, you know, over the next year, I can set up a dedicated circle in that area. You know, so we'll have to put the our quests on hold while I stay in one spot for a whole year to really, you know, get a teleportation circle set up where the owlbears are. Imagine we could market this and bring people in for viewing. We could put them in like glass spheres that move around.
Welcome to Arcane Park.
You just teleport them from our bar with the unlimited soup and beverages package.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is a foolproof plan. It's gonna be great.
Like Shark Week for owlbears.
You see a bunch of like owlbears jumping. It's just like cut to a bunch of different angles of them doing vicious things. Okay, so now that you guys are all met up, what would you guys like to do for the rest of the evening? It is dark. It is the evening.
Well, I'm gonna at least tell Silo and Oz that we think we saw Tefe Caltro walking around. Obviously, I'm just gonna whisper it to them, not like announce it to everyone in the stable. So we could probably go the direction we thought we saw him. I know we still have to go to, you know, the inn, get a broom and stuff. So maybe we'll find him at the bar. Maybe. We'll see.
I was going to say, maybe we could just happen upon where he's at. We pub crawl.
All right,
I agree.
you guys.
A decent tactic.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we should go get a room at the inn first as it's winding down. And I think we're all probably fairly cold and tired.
Okay. So you guys have kind of the main spot that probably at this time of night would probably be the North Look Inn. It's kind of like the largest establishment that people go in there. I think you guys have been there before, so you guys at least part of you stayed there if I remember correctly. So
That's where we started then.
say again?
Old lady. I think that's where we started, maybe?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So okay.
Is the old lady still there? Helm?
The old dwarf, yes. Maybe. We'll see.
And rather than trying to, you know, board my steed, I'll dismiss the bond and disappear.
Okay.
Probably for the best.
I'm still perched on the back of an owlbear steed, which is probably causing mild panic throughout the city.
Yeah,
Even
you
though
get
it's
some. I keep forgetting that. So why don't? How are you handling that? Because you do get some stares. Like, you know, I saw this like video the other day, and some dude was like walking around like having a fake snake and showing it to people, and they're all kind of like jumping back. It's kind of like that situation. Like you turn the corner, and then you see somebody, and people like jump back, and then kind of realize how calm and like collected you are, and so they like that kind of soothes them, but they're very much startled at first.
Well, it's clearly fake, but as people are like jumping back, I lean forward and I'm just whispering into the steed's ear, like, don't worry, don't let it get to you. They just don't know you yet, like I do.
Okay.
They'll learn. They'll learn.
Okay. So, all right. So we'll say that you guys get to the Northlook Inn. You notice that the old dwarf is not sitting at the chair, kind of by the fire, the helm that you met. You do notice that there's a couple of patrons. They're it's kind of later in the evening, so they're just now, pretty much just in their cups at some point. Some of them are eating whatever bit of food that's kind of in there at the end of the day. And you notice that the kind of like the proprietor or it seems like somebody who's behind the main bar desk. He kind of waves you over. He's just like, we're about to call last call. Did you want anything before we call it?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, all right, what can I get for you? We're kind of low on food. There's plenty of drink, I guess.
I'll take a meal and a drink.
2 drinks, please.
All right. So he kind of gathers a couple of mugs of varying degree of cleanliness, a couple of them, and fills them up with from a barrel there. Looks like some. It's not the greatest, like, most appealing looking ale. Some of it like struggles. It's like to like siphon out or whatever, and he's just like kind of like raising the barrel a bit. He's like trying to like tilt it, but it's not going very well. And so he produces, 5 of or whatever, whoever's drinking the worst pours you've probably seen in a while. And he's just like, all right, that'll be about 2 silver each for the drinks and about 3 silver for the food. And so whoever is getting it, you'll have to pay that unless you're gonna fight him on it.
Yeah, I'll check in for the drinks. You said it was 3 silver?
It was 2 silver for the drinks, 3 for food.
Okay.
I'll put in the silver for the drinks.
Okay, so drinking.
Well, I paid my 6. I'm gonna give him a tip too, a 1 silver tip for service.
Okay. Yeah, he turned the iPad around actually, and
No.
And that was already
0.
pre-selected.
Skip. Yeah, skip.
you notice
You
that
get
it's got
nothing now.
30, 35%, and 40% tip options. It's just like ludicrously expensive for like the minimal amount of effort. So then he's just like, thank you, much obliged, much obliged. He's just like, oh. All right, food will be out in a minute. You want to buy more before I call it? Because I mean, this is his last call.
Like, I do believe we'll need some rooms for the evening. If you have any
all right.
available.
Oh yeah, that.
And he's just like, yeah, I've got 1 2-bed and then 1 single bed. So you guys are gonna have to squeeze a little bit if it's gonna be all of you needing a room. That's pretty much all I got. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's
I'm sure we could make it work.
Yeah.
Do you have
Okay.
like a thick blanket that would be an extra blanket that we could have?
that'll be extra.
Yeah, I could probably muster one up for you. Sure. And so he's just like, yeah, that'll be it'll be about, and he's just like, because he's like, it's kind of late. You guys are doing me the favor by filling these up. I'll say these will be about 3 gold for all of it.
Okay, I'll give him 3 gold for the rooms.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys kind of do him a solid. He's just like, all right. He kind of like gets the keys. They've got like little like wooden like amulet kind of attached to them, like little thing that indicates the number kind of engraved in it. It's kind of shoddily done, but he's like, yeah, you got the numbers there. They should be able to get upstairs. And actually, no, I think no, upstairs. I mean that'll be the rooms that you'll be staying at. And he's just like, all right, well, I'm gonna start cleaning up if you guys don't want anything else then.
Yeah, you're fine. How's the bar look? Is it still are patrons in there? Or
Yeah, like I said, there's a couple people eating a little bit. Some people in their cups. There's one bloke who's kind of like about one of the seats by the fire who's just passed out. You notice that there's like a mug that's kind of like spilled over on the wood floorboard there. So yeah, it seems like you're kind of coming into the end of the night here.
okay. I think Bofades is still gonna try and play a fantastic little closing time tune. As the bar keeps cleaning up and try and bring in some goodwill and good cheer.
Okay. So, all right, why don't you give me a performance check?
Can't wait to see how bad this first roll goes.
Come on,
You got
bud.
this.
I'm really rooting for it.
There you go.
Hey!
All right. So, great roll. Not everyone's kind of aware of what's happening or really up. So,
That tracks.
so your haul isn't great. You get about 4
Yeah, like-
silver.
I'll cheer really loud. It's like, yeah!
Yeah,
and
somebody
like
you
throw a
kinda
gold at him.
You startle awake someone who's like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And then they kind of like linger back into their slumber. So yeah, you get about 4 silver from the external patron in terms of your performance. So
Perfect. That's something.
the barkeep kind of calls out to you. He's like, "Ah, mate, you should have been here earlier. You probably would have gotten a better haul."
If only I could have been.
Okay. So do you guys plan on retiring for the evening?
Does it seem like the barkeep is short-staffed? Does it seem like there's a lot of glasses out? Anything like that?
Yeah, it seems like he's got his work cut out for him. He seems like in a surprisingly good mood. So either A, it's like this isn't as bad as it always is, or B, like he really doesn't mind. I guess could be other options,
Okay.
but
So it seems maybe he'd be willing to talk. So if there's not like a ton of people around us, I'm going to like maybe collect a few mugs for him, bring it up to the front or to him, whatever, and be like, hey, like, find, my cousin's friend. He looks like he has like black hair, like long black hair. It's usually like in a ponytail. Got some like piercing blue eyes. I'm gonna start describing Sepik without saying his name and see if he has seen anything like that recently.
and he kind of like doggedly kind of like looks around. And he kind of like leans in close. He's just like, "You're talking about I think you know who you're talking about. You're looking for what's her name? Torg the bodyguard, right? I forgot what the fellow's name is. He's kind of the I don't know if you've met him. He's kind of a startling individual, an unsettling type. Very awkward, quiet. Seems like he's got something is not quite right behind those eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're putting down. So you have seen him around, or at least Torg or Suffolk or something. Have they been around here?
Yeah. Her crew. Sorry, it's Torga crew. It's somebody come by here. They pay well, they eat well. I know they're not up to any good. But they don't cause too much trouble, as far as I can tell. Though that bodyguard of hers definitely gives me the creeps. He doesn't wear a coat. He just kind of walks around like with like a sleeveless shirt. It's really bizarre.
Some people just run hot.
Some people will run hot in like sub-zero temps. It's like the one guy who always wears shorts no matter what.
So like, where do they like to maybe frequent, or if they usually go typical places around town?
Yeah.
I'm gonna slide a silver over for his help.
And he kind of like nods at you, and he's like, yeah. No, I mean, you're already doing me a solid. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. He's just like, look, between you and I, they sometimes go, there is a part of our operation that seems legit. She actually does sell in the market square every now and then. So she shares some interesting wares that people want, sometimes weapons. She's a merchant, so whatever seems to be most profitable recently, wood, fish, exotic wares, whatever people are seeming to lack, she's somehow be able to get her hands on. You might find her there tomorrow at the marketplace. Though, yeah, I mean, she does kind of travel. And so she's just like, or if you stick around long enough, you might find her, them, him here. Though she travels with a kind of a large crew. I don't know where you're trying to look. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I kind of see through they're not really. I don't feel like you're kind of the type that would associate with them. So, look, if you're gonna cause trouble, I would prefer you wouldn't do it here.
Don't worry, it's only minor
no.
explosions.
We don't cause trouble.
Oh, really? Really? Wow. Okay.
Finish it.
You hear Jimothy chimes in, kind of like from the other seat, and he's just like, "Oh, the hell are you?" No, I'm just kidding. He's just like, you're not from around here. You guys, you're the Southerners that people talk about.
Southern 10 towns, yes.
He's just like, there's not really much south from 10 towns besides a shit ton of rock and mountains. But and he's just like, all right, it's like you guys have been up to some wild stuff. Word's gotten around about you all.
You won't believe our latest exploits. And I'll point to a silo. My good friend and I just saw with our own eyes owlbears.
He's just like, no kidding. And he's just like, look, I don't know what you're dealing with but if you're looking for some work, you might want to stop by the the House of the Morning Lord. There seems to be like a gnome there. He's looking to hire somebody. You might chat with him. His name's Copper, I think, something like that.
Copper?
Yeah, Copper, like the money.
We appreciate the heads up.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't frequent here, but I saw somebody was talking about maybe taking an opportunity, but I feel like if the Southerners rolled in, I feel like he'd give it to you all. Anyhow, I can't chat for much longer. I kind of want to go home at some point, and I'm gonna keep working on this. Do you need anything else?
Well, let you get to it.
Okay.
Thanks.
And so he kind of like goes out back, and by this time, he brings out your food. It looks like it's just some couple of rolls. Looks like he gives you and it looks like it's like deer, like some venison. He's just like, yeah, I figured I'd get you something a little bit better than what we typically serve folk. Here you go. It's a little dry, but it's not bad. And does anyone eat? Who's eating the venison?
I'll take a little.
Okay. So yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, it's a little tougher. It seems like he's been kind of saving it for maybe either a special occasion or injuring folk or people that he thinks maybe you might would prefer it, I guess. So he then continues on. Are you guys gonna do anything else for the evening before down here, or before you guys retire for the night? Okay. Then we will kind of move past there. You guys, who's doing what? Who's taking the 2-bed? Who's taking the 1-bed? What's the situation? What's the split here?
I'm standing out in the hall like I usually do.
Yeah, but Bofades knows the drill. He's hanging out in the room closest to us, wherever Osilo's standing.
Okay.
I feel like Jimothy's small enough he could sleep in a chair.
Yeah, there seems to be like a little bit of like a small recliner in there in the room. So.
Pull out the sock drawer and tuck Jimothy in.
Don't close it.
what?
He's a halfling, not like a
the
tiefling.
like the Japanese businessman in Seinfeld, tucking him into the dresser.
Oh man, it's a good reference there. Okay, so
Still like to take watch because I don't think anything happened at this hotel, but I don't want to get caught not being aware. So at least take like the last. Like I think we usually do 3 watches, so I'll take the last one.
I'll take first watch.
All
Or
right.
what if they'd ever finish building it here?
I'll try and take the second if I can get a trance in before.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then we'll begin with. So you guys settle in for the night. We'll begin with first watch here. Why don't you give me a perception check, please?
Tired from chasing Osmanthus around.
5. Okay. So with a 5, a silo. After a bit, you do hear a knock on the door. Tum, tum, tum.
Isn't Silo outside?
Yeah,
Where's
done.
he?
Oh, sorry. You do. All right, that's my bad.
Done.
You do notice. Sorry. Yes, I completely forgot. You do notice someone coming up. And it's the barkeep. He's brought a blanket. He's just like, yeah, somebody asked for a blanket or something.
Like, thank you. I'll take it to my friend.
Okay. So he drinks that. He goes back downstairs. You notice a couple people kind of come past that have rooms. They're like struggling up the steps, and they're kind of like using the wall and what to kind of like support themselves. And they're like they like kind of one of them kind of collides with the door. Are you doing anything, or are you just kind of watching the show happen?
Boo.
As they start drifting towards the wall, I kind of like gently bump them back to walk down the center of the hall.
He kind of looks at you. He's just like, "Oh, what the hell are you?" And fumbles to get the key. Kind of figures it out. Gets inside. Closes the door behind him, and you notice that you hear a thunk on the ground, like it didn't quite land on the bed. Okay. So after a bit of time, your watch, we'll say that, I mean, I know you're kind of all executive, but you'll say your watch kind of comes to an end, and it's time for the second person to kind of wake up. And I'll let them roll the perception.
All right. See if I can beat that 5.
Yeah. All right, with 21, yeah, you kind of go through the night. You know, are you doing anything as you're kind of watch here, or what's happening?
I'll look around at the room, and if anything like strikes me as broken, you know, damaged, I'll just try and mend it to the best of my abilities. You know, leave it a little bit better than it. Also, you know, not be using not know about more.
Yeah, so you notice a couple of things. One of the things there, one leg is just kind of like not the longest. That's a bit like that's one thing you kind of notice. You notice like a kind of crack in the headboard of one of the beds, if you want to like fix that.
Yeah.
You notice that there's
Stand over that bed. Whoever is sleeping, I'll just be doing my thing.
you're breathing heavily.
Yeah.
Sure. The crack in the bed, not the crack in the back.
Oh my God. Yes. And then after a bit, so after you finish that, you hear 21. You hear a little bit of shouting, like from a distance from outside. And then you hear from downstairs someone boom, 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 kind of knock loudly on the door. You it's kind of persistent, and then you hear it. Eventually, you know, someone kind of like goes out and opens it. Are you doing anything, or are you kind of? Silo, you would hear this as well. I was at least a thumping of the.
Does this room have like a window that I can, you know, let all the cold air in and?
It does where you're positioned though. It's not like it's going to be facing up front per se, so it'll be facing like a different street. You can open it if you'd like, but it seems like based on your position, just how you know your position in the building, it seems like you kind of be able to face directly up.
Could I make out anything that was said when they shouted?
Yeah, you kind of hear it's just like you hear something. Lock doors. There's been another murder, and then that's it. And the door kind of shuts, and then you don't hear anything else.
Okay, well, assuming Oz is just gonna think, well, that's none of us got murdered. Probably I would have seen it.
Yeah. But you do have this information that it seems like they're trying to like lock in or whatever. Do a lockdown.
That's probably one of the town's guards, or just some, teenager playing a prank.
Okay.
I'm,
All right.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Keep going. If you don't do anything else, the rest of the evening kind of goes pretty quiet, and then we'll say that you can wake up the next person.
I'll go over to Zoran and shake her awake.
Yeah.
You shake her, but get up.
Get up! Except Oz is so weak, it's more like his arms are shaking.
And,
Anything happened?
Well, I believe the town's guard showed up and indicated that someone had been murdered and that we should lock our doors.
I go to check our door. It is locked, hopefully.
It's wide open.
It says there's a sign on the door that says "murder here." No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, no, it's locked.
Yeah.
So okay, Zoran, why don't you give me another perception, or give me a perception check, please? 17. Okay, so yeah, with a 17, seems pretty quiet. You hear a couple of seems like drunk shouts of the night. It is a city or a larger town per se, so it's nothing that's too alarming. The walls aren't super thick, so eventually you hear some snoring from some folk. But yeah, with a 17, seems like everything seems to be pretty calm for the night. Nothing disturbs you guys' slumber, and we'll say that you reach morning, and you can all indicate that you've taken a long rest.
Let's go to the market square. Is this
Okay.
gonna be like farmer's market? Like food there?
Maybe. Okay, so you got the charges. Nice. Okay. So you wake up. Yeah, you guys do anything in the morning for your kind of your ritual here?
Oz is putting away mending and bringing back minor illusion.
Okay. All right. So you guys do that. Anything else before you guys head downstairs?
Oz is going to look around for anything that he might have missed right after he swaps out his known cantrips.
And you notice that there's like a squeaky floorboard or something like that could have been mended or something like that.
Yeah, no, those can't be fixed. That is, you'd have to tear the whole establishment down.
We still have a polar bear skin, right?
I think we stuffed that in a
yes.
box somewhere. Get and
Oh, okay.
Well, there was that one, and then you got another, or was that the one? No, I think you got a different one based on the kind of the temple thing or whatever you did in Lonelywood on the floors
We
there.
just got it from that place that had the sarcophaguses and others. I thought we had a polar bear skin. Anyways, my intention is to try and bring the polar bear skin to see if maybe Sorga will be interested in purchasing it or something. I have a reason to talk to them.
I have a giant pelt in my inventory.
Yeah. Okay. So as you guys start making your way downstairs, it's a kind of a commotion. It seems like this is kind of like a lot of the gathering spot of a couple of people. You hear some people, man, it's not safe here. We gotta get out of here. It's something about Ten Town, man. People just keep getting murdered up, and this one's just, and you hear just people just kind of like talking about last night. It's just like, man, I don't know who's out there, but they're just twisted. A kid out of all things. Horrible, man, horrible. And yeah, do you guys say anything and kind of interject in some of these? Do you guys kind of just sneak on by and head on out? What are you guys doing?
I'm just gonna ask, what do you mean here you're saying a kid? What, did something happen yesterday?
He's just like, yeah, man. There was a murder at the stables last night.
Oh no.
Zoran went back and got the rest of her gold.
Oh, no qualms with him. They said I was going to start review.
Anyhow,
Well, not now. He's dead. He can't do his job. 1 out of 5.
It'd be terrible if I got a 1 out of. I mean, you can't be putting that bad juju on someone who died.
yeah. So he's just like, yeah, man, it's horrible. I mean, it's, just the poor stable kid. What's up with that? I don't know. He didn't do anything wrong. So they're just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Tin Town, but it doesn't seem like a safe place to live anymore.
We should. Do you know if like what happened with the body? Like, did somebody find him at the stables? Dead?
Look, I don't know. I haven't gone and checked myself. I just overheard. That's the rumor anyway. But just be safe out there, especially in the night. Even with the lockdown, I don't know what the hell this lockdown's doing, but it's not really doing much. It's not keeping the people safe.
Should we go check it out?
Yeah.
No, I'm still gonna go to the market square.
Okay.
You guys can go to the stables.
All right, is that all right? Who's doing what now?
Zoran's
for-
awful sus.
Right?
I know.
Doesn't want to go
I
back
know.
to the scene of the crime.
Curious.
I mean, I trust the police force in this town. I
Wow.
don't need to, insert myself.
You
I'm sure
meant
they
the
will have a thorough investigation.
You meant the door guards. You trust them?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, teach
I
their
mean,
own, right?
he's still gonna be dead even when we finish at the market square. The thing is, I don't know the next time we're gonna see this merchant at the market square, if they're gonna be leaving or something.
Were they not permanent, like in a building?
Right.
I guess they could pack up the building and just leave with it.
Okay. So who's sorry, I was checking something. Who's going where?
I will
So you
go
go
with
first.
Osmanthus for sure to check out this. I don't want to call it a child murder, but it seems like a child murder.
A youth murder.
I would head towards the stables as well.
Stable Boy Blues.
Stable Boy Blues. Okay. So then we will start out with Zoran then, because you're going solo to the market.
Perfect.
Euthanasia. Oh my god.
Yeah, I had to her and see if I could step a
That's
Caltro
interesting.
and Torga.
Okay. So
I see.
you well, you start getting, you notice some people, it seems like in the markets there's still some people out. It's like the talk of the everyone's talking about, like, as you're walking past people, they're like, oh man, did you hear about this, blah blah blah. Just like, oh man, I was just twisted or whatever, and all this stuff, you hear it. And then you kind of get to the market. Why don't you give me a perception check, please? to see if you spot.
Oh.
Oof.
Do I have anything? Nope, no more inspiration.
All right. So with a 6, yeah, you're not really it seems like you're kind of like you're not exactly sure where to go. It seems like it's not like super concentrated. It seems like it kind of wraps around a couple buildings. So it seems like you might have to like talk with some folk or try to get some more information in terms of like direction.
Are there other merchants around?
Yeah, there seems to be like a couple different people. It seems like there's some people and it's pretty cold. So, there's some people that are bundled up. It's not like the most open marketplace. Some people kind of like have like these little mini shacks, like windbreaker shacks that they kind of set up. And so, yeah, you can go to one of them.
Is there anyone selling like a hot beverage, like a hot apple cider or like a hot cocoa or something?
You hear somebody shout, "Hot drink! Get your hot drink!"
So I go over there and I will purchase a hot drink and ask them if they know where I can find the Sorghum Merchant Company. I thought it was over here. Did they move?
He's just like, the guy's just like, yeah, they should be around. He kind of like, he kind of calls back to his. He's like, who's kind of like pouring the drinks. He's just like, hey mate, where's the where do they stand up? And he's just like, oh, they kind of stand up a little bit more on the north side. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see him setting up this morning. He's just like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I just go a bit more north. Lass, you'll find him there. And
do you like they know what they're talking about, or does it seem like they're just making a guess?
Seems like they're making a guesstimate.
Okay, good enough for me.
And so they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 2 silver for the drink.
Okay, I'll pay them the 2 silver.
Okay, so they hand you the hot drink. You pour it on yourself and you scald in on you.
All right. Can I walk around with this cup? Is it a portable one or is it in a mug or something? Do I gotta drink it here?
It seems like it's like it seems like it's you kind of have to drink it there. But he's just
I'm gonna
like,
tell the guy, hey, I'm just gonna walk around. I promise I'll be back with the mug. Is that okay?
He's just like, yeah, you better come back or I'll send the guards on you. I know your face.
Promise.
I've seen your face.
Good. Perfect. I'll be back. I'm gonna walk around with my little bug so I can stay warm.
Is it like a ceramic mug that you can, once you're done Thor style, just throw it to the ground?
It is breakable. It has that ability. It probably won't shatter as cleanly, but all right. With that, we'll jump to the rest of you as you approach the stables. And it's not like a full there's like ticker tape or whatever, everything's taped off or anything like that. There's one cop who's just like, man, I was just about to retire, stuff like that, leaning against one of the walls. So it seems like it seems like it's almost cleaned up. Whatever happened here, like there's not too many people kind of like trying to get in and all that. But there does seem to be and I think you've met him before. The sheriff of the town, Sheriff Markham, is there. So what are you guys doing?
FBI taking over.
Yeah, this is our investigation scene now.
We have jurisdiction because we say so. It's on this piece of
Give me an
paper.
onion bagel.
We probably wouldn't stroll up in that fashion.
No.
We What?
I was going to say, I think the thing I would lead off with is approaching the sheriff and offering our services again.
You
Right,
guys see,
because he's should remember our faces, I would think.
yeah, he kind of looks up. He's just like, "Oh, hello. I didn't. Who are you? Do you know anything about this? I know you're kind of taking charge. Any leads or anything? I mean, this is just
Well,
getting worse."
No, no leads from us. We just got in last night in here, and we heard that there was another murder. And so we decided to come down and check it out and see if maybe we could help in any way to see what was going on. And I know you said it was mostly cleaned up, right? Or
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, the body's not there anymore. He's just like, yeah, we had to take the poor kid away. He's just like, it's just like a horrific sight. I didn't think it was gonna be quite this gruesome. It seems like this one was, I don't even know what described, purposeful, trying to say something. I don't know anymore.
did it seem like he was attacked by a creature?
No, it's, well, I don't know. It seemed odd. There was and he describes that there was like, it seems like he was like speared with like a stalagmite of like frost or something, and just kind of like skewered and then like placed, and like his like body was like dangling back like through his chest.
Oh,
And it's like, it's pretty horrific. He's just like yeah, I mean, one of the guards kind of stumbled upon it on their watch last night. We must. I don't know how we didn't hear the sounds of them, but it must
that
have been.
sounds like vengeance indeed. And a wee bit of magic. Luckily, we have our own magic man here.
He gestured toward the magic man.
Well, you've got magic too, Bofade.
I do, but I don't have the intelligence to search about for it. So I will ask if he cares if we take a look around to see if maybe we can find anything.
Sure. He kind of looks at it. He's just like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at a dead end here. I really don't know what I'm really looking for here. So if you see anything that I don't see, let me know.
Do you have reports of the other victims?
Yeah, I could probably give you something like that. Well, just kind of like descriptions, names, where they were found. What are you looking for?
Descriptions, names, age, where they were found, how they died.
Well, what's odd about this?
Oz was here this whole time. I wasn't. Have they all died the same way?
No. So that's what he's just about to say. That he's just like, what's odd about this? Normally, some of the stuff, it's been kind of on the outskirts of the town. This one, or just like, it happens in the town and then it's taken out. I don't quite understand some of these. It's been sporadic, but this one seems to, and this one's the first of this kind here. The other ones, while it has been that they've been attacked with ice, and that's what led us to believe that it's one individual or one being, or it's consistent. It seems like the consistent thread amongst everything. But yeah, I couldn't tell you much more. I'll give you the reports here.
Okay. I'll look around the stable to see if anything stands out.
Okay. Yeah, for the searching, why don't you give me an investigation check? See what you guys can find.
I will, help Oz in this. I did not help much.
I am doing. I don't have any more inspiration. You just get the one, and I used it.
So
Uh,
Jimothy went along. If I don't know if I could do it. Then
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I assumed you were all there, so whoever.
Yeah, everyone except for Zorn.
Pretty much, yeah. So if you want.
Hey, 18.
Oh, cheating!
Do we also I suppose I would ask if we know who found it, like found the stable boy.
Yeah, he said it was one of the guards on the watch. That they were kind of patrolling, and then it was kind of a notice. It was like pretty noticeable how it was placed. He kind of like gestures and towards.
Oh
the
yeah,
front.
someone hoisted up by a giant ice spear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to notice.
I get that.
Inconspicuous.
Yeah.
All right, Jimothy with an 18. Wow. Jimothy, you're kind of like scattering about. You start on the open, like in the space kind of in front, and you kind of get the idea of like, oh, why don't I kind of, check within the stables and see what's going on there. And you kind of look, and maybe you recall, how he went into one of the different stables, and the kid the other day kind of grabbed or the other night rather, the gold. And you notice that in one of the stables there's like a bed there. And you kind of keep searching, he's kind of cruising around, going between things. And you notice, and it kind of like contrasts between like the bedding that he has, a long black hair.
Long black hair.
Like a little hair follicle, yeah.
I will inspect it.
Okay.
Or
It is
dandruff.
Well, how are you inspecting it? It is a hair. You pick it up, or what are you doing?
I eat it.
What the fuck?
Horsehair. I knew it. I will. I don't know. I feel like I have a criminal background, and I'm a criminal
Spoilers. We don't
person.
know that.
So I feel like I am clever when it comes to like inspecting weird shit. I don't know, like offices and out of place things. So maybe I can tell if it's from. I can tell what kind of if it's is it like rough and thick, or is it fine and cleaned, like washed, like a woman's long black hair.
So it is a bit thicker. It's a bit rough per se. It smells clean, and something we don't talk about in this world here. A lot of people smell awful. Not really the most well kept people. The other thing you notice as you're kind of also investigating, you do, in a bed, you do spot like a couple of different hairs that are mismatched, like from the individual. It seems like from the kid, right? The kid had like, I didn't describe this, but the kid had like shorter, kind of like maybe like a light brown hair. So it seems like a very stark contrast with that. So that's kind of where you work on it. But it does strike you that like it was definitely an individual. What you gathered, it doesn't seem like it was an animal. You kind of compare with some of the rest of the horses and the water beings, and there's not like a couple of black horses there. So it seems like whoever was in here was either not from the stables or not the stable boy, and there wasn't a horse that did this.
Okay.
It
Well,
was the stable girl who did it.
I
You
will.
notice there's a no. I'm just kidding.
I'll take the hair and I'll put it in my little pouch that I have.
Okay.
You said it's long and black. All right, so I will I'll show it to my less keen-eyed friends and say we should probably keep an eye out. We should probably keep an eye out for someone with long black hair. Suspicious person.
Oh, suspicious.
A little sus. Speaking of sus, we're gonna jump back to Zoran here. Zoran, you're kind of meandering around with your hot drink. Are you gonna taste it? Do you try it? It is. It seems like it's some sort of tea. You can't really quite put your finger on it. It's not like the most fragrant thing, but it is warm. It seems like it's got like maybe some hints of like anise seed or something like that, if you know what that is. It seems like maybe like they put like maybe in the whole vat they put like maybe like a couple of sticks of cinnamon. It's not bad. It seems like it's pretty kind of diluted, but it is a hot drink, and it's tolerable.
I'm gonna cover the mug. That way, all the heat doesn't, escape all the time, and maybe my hand will stay warm. But I'll walk around, try and see if I can find this merchant, Torga in Suffolk. I'm gonna go in the direction that the people said to go. So
why don't you give me another perception check, please? See what you can as you kind of meander around more.
16.
16. Okay. So you kind of mosey around, I'm assuming you're kind of looking casual. Like, how are you just kind of strolling, looking at different wares? Like, how are you walking around here?
Just like you would at a farmer's market. I have my mug of coffee, mug of tea. I'm looking at stuff. Every once in a while, I might, oh, this looks nice. Keep going. If there's a furs shop, I'll see what they're trying to charge for their polar bear skin or whatever skins we have and try and compare to what we have. I don't have them with me. I think Jimothy has all of them, but just keep it in, keeping a mental note.
Looks like there are some people that they sell. They look like they some people are selling like mittens made from like bears they've caught, and like there seems to be like a couple of like pelts kind of like or like coats kind of put together from different like different foxes, stuff like that. That those go between a few gold up to like 20 something gold. You don't see anything large like bear being sold, but probably figure that would probably get you a decent amount. And as you're moseying around, you spot, it's kind of like facing back from you. You spot an individual that's not wearing any sleeves, and that's kind of like catches your eye. It seems like they're wearing like minimal amount of clothing. And they're kind of like, they've got like, they're surrounded, like there's like a bunch of like crates and like a couple barrels, and they got like their one foot up, and they're kind of like leaning forward, and they're kind of like, it looks like they're like scanning the area. And then you notice that kind of like an older dwarf woman, she's kind of like looking around and just kind of like trying to like wave some people in, just like, exotic wares, all the goods that you could need. And then you notice that there's a couple of 4 other men there kind of like helping open stuff up. A couple of them are just kind of leaning back against some of the crates, using them as like pseudo like rests or like chairs. It seems like this little group is about this older dwarf woman, 4 other individuals, and then this sleeveless individual with long black hair, kind of facing away from you.
So is there a shop next to them, or are they kind of like on a strip by themselves?
It seems like there seems like they're kind of like, how do I say this? There's like a couple of like different like roads or like little marks and stuff like that, and they're kind of like in between like a couple of different buildings. So they're surrounded by like 4 or 5 different buildings. There's a little like smallish post tent thing that I was kind of describing, a little like shack next to them, and it seems like they're set up their little situations like a little like raised cobblestone platform type thing that they have all their wares on in the middle. So it seems like a little opening, almost like a square, like a tiny square.
Okay. I was hoping I could maybe meander to like a shop next to them and just kind of, like, because if I'm going merchant to merchant, something like that. So
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
there
slowly
seems to
make
be,
my way up.
yeah, there seems to be like kind of like a shop that's kind of selling they're selling like sleds, like they're selling like travel gear and like you know boots and stuff like that, just kind of like mainly like maybe for like terrain on like hiking or travel, really, so mainly like footwear and stuff like that. um and so you kind of mosey over to them. What are you doing? Are you just kind of like trying to spot to kind of give quick glances over there, or what's happening?
Do either of these, so the one that I'm gonna go visit and then them, does it
Mhm.
look like they have any customers, or is it literally just me freaking
No, it
meandering
seems
over?
like on their caravan, little caravan, it seems like one of the men is kind of talking to some individual. There seems to be a couple of other people on at a little stand, kind of like almost like diagonal across from you. That there's some people chatting there. It's not super vibrant, but there is a couple people, and you notice like maybe turning the corner, some people walk past, depending on how long you're going to be there. So there is some foot traffic.
Okay. Then no, I'm gonna spend a normal amount of time at the shop looking at, I don't know. I guess I'll look at the shoes to see if they look better than the ones I'm currently wearing. Maybe keep my feet warmer or something, Just
Yeah, they do
asking
have.
about price and blah blah blah.
Yeah, so you kind of humor the guy a little bit. He's just like, "Oh, we've got this like nice fox skinned this boots here, and I've waterproofed some of these myself. Keep your feet warm and keep your feet dry. And he's trying to sell you up on them. Hard sole, great for rocks and traveling and all that. And you look over, and you notice that this individual with the maybe matching description of the Celtic Caltro turns around, and you see the piercing blue eyes that this individual has. You're like, he's beautiful. No,
Are they just like icicles that come out?
yeah, it's like he's like Cyclops. He sends like beams coming out. No, but you do see them, and he's got this scowl on his face. It seems like he's not just like his. It seems like his like eyebrows are permanently positioned to be frowning. So,
Does he
but
like
he's not
look
focused
at
on you. He's
me?
just kind of scanning around. Sorry, say again?
I'm like, yeah. If he was like looking at me, I'd be like, what is this guy's problem?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, why don't you give me a deception, please, or a performance, either one. What do you want? What's better?
Can I cast guidance on myself?
I would. Yeah, you know what? He's kind of scanning out. I'll say that you can kind of like maybe 10 minutes away. Yeah, I'll say that you can do it. Oh man, you're gonna
no.
need.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. I'm about to roll here. See what he sees.
Right through you.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's those piercing eyes.
You notice that you're kind of like, scanning through, and then you kind of look back at him, and then you lock eyes. And he notices you. And he kind of like puts his foot off the crate. And he kind of like, he kind of looks away, and then he goes to, it seems like the older dwarf whispers to her something you can't hear. And he starts walking towards you, like directly. Like he just kind of like starts, he's not being discreet about it. He's just walking straight up in front of you, to you. Are you doing anything?
No. I will wave. Hello. I guess with my other hand, because I would hold my cup with my right hand.
Okay. And he comes to you and he looks at you and he's not saying anything. He doesn't even acknowledge you. He kind of like looks up, he looks up and down and he's just like, who are you?
I'm Zoran. Who are you?
He's like, that doesn't matter. What are you doing? Why are you looking at me?
I mean, you're over by a store, so I was thinking about going over that way to look at what you guys are selling. Because it is a market square.
You were staring at me. I don't think you're... I don't... Who? You're... And he's just like, what are you doing in the north? Why are you here?
Just passing through. I mean, I came from Lonelywood. Just making my way this way, I guess.
You went to Lonelywood first from the south before coming to Brinchander?
Yes. They were needing some help with a moose, and a friend really wants to track down an owlbear, so we heard some rumblings about a owlbear or something, so didn't find anything out there.
And, okay. So, he's just like, well, if you're interested in the wares, I can show you. Come with me.
She'll be over in a second. I'm still looking at these boots.
No, you will come now. And he grabs your arm. What are you doing?
Send, sir.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger.
Oh my god.
We'll be over there in a second. I promise.
And he is not letting go. He is pulling you. He's going to start pulling your arm into the direction to like walk you towards the caravan. Are you resisting? What's happening?
This is where we find out that Zoran has a prosthetic.
It attaches.
I'm just gonna try my arm off just to spite this guy. I'm going to assume that I'm still holding onto some shoes, so I'm gonna take the shoes with me and my drink, and see if the owner of the other previous establishment says anything.
He kind of like chimes up. He's just like, "Hey, you gotta pay for that." And he kind of looks at what's happening. He's like, "Hey, what?" He kind of like points to guy with long hair, and he's just like, "You with her?" And he releases his grip on you, and he's just like, "No, but I keep an eye on her." And then he starts walking away from you.
This is not the way to pick up ladies.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
he's clearly not a good guy, right?
I'm gonna go back to the store, intentionally take a really long time, and then tell the guy, "Hey, saying something," I guess, and then not buy the shoes. I'm assuming the shoes are really expensive.
Okay, he shoots you right on the spot. He pulls out a crossbow and he's just like, "Not gonna buy the shoes, eh?"
How much are the shoes? Are they better shoes than what I'm wearing?
Yeah, so it seems like these are about they're 5 gold, and they are better than the ones. I mean, you can tell, like, I'll say mechanically they're not gonna provide much, but they're gonna be comfortable and they're gonna be more stylistic, so
I imagine mine are, they have holes or some shit like that, so damn, 5 gold, that seems really cheap. Does that seem cheap? I don't know. So Jimothy's not here to tell me if these are good prices or not.
That's right.
So I'm gonna look around and see if he has any like shoelaces to sell, and see if I can get like, oh, if I buy these can you throw in some free shoelaces for me or something, whatever, or socks, something.
He's just like, yeah, I guess I could throw in some socks with that. That'll get you to buy them.
Let's
And
do that.
so he's just like, all right, you got yourself a deal. And he's just like, you want a bag for these?
Yeah, dude. Is it
And so
free?
yeah,
Is it free?
he pulls out this little like sack, and he's just like, yeah, I guess so.
Perfect. Then yes, I'll take a sack.
Okay. So he gets you that. You hand over the 5 gold. You successfully marked that you have a new pair of shoes.
Sweet. And socks.
And the entire time, back when this this individual kind of goes back to his caravan, he's staring at you in your direction the entire time. He is not letting you leave his sight.
Does the lady that's over there look friendly?
No. You the dwarven individual, she kind of is yelling at the other men, and just kind of like rude. Every now and then she smacks one of them for kind of like placing stuff incorrectly. Doesn't seem like a very nice individual.
She obviously seems like she's the boss of this whole,
Correct.
operation. So,
yeah.
Was she the one trying to call people over to her stand?
Yeah, she was kind of waving some people down. So if you want to,
then yeah, I'm gonna go up to her and be like, "Hello."
Okay, so remember, like, she's surrounded by all these guys, okay, so she kind of looks at him. She's like, hello, what are you looking for? We got everything, exotic wares. Looking for weapons? You're looking for nice jewelry?
I'm just looking, but is there anything that you recommend that I should look at? Anything brand new for the season?
Give me a perception check, please.
Shopkeep, customers like, anything you recommend I buy? Yeah, all of it.
Everything, please. Okay. So, Soren, you notice that she kind of like tugs at her ear, but it's not like she's like scratching at it. It's like she's signaling something. And then you notice that a couple of the men behind you, they stop making noise, and they kind of like set down whatever they're setting down. What are you doing?
I mean, this is like an outdoor area, right?
It is an outdoor area. Are you gonna say anything? What are you gonna do?
Is there an area of her store that is not currently being blocked in right now? Like the jewelry,
No, like I said,
could I go over there and look at it?
This is all kind of like out in the open. So like, she then like says to you, like, it's like you're kind of like this open square. There's a couple like buildings. You kind of like step out into this open square area, and then actually, why don't I, to make this a little bit easier, why don't I bring you to the map?
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay, give me 1 second. I haven't thrown you guys on here yet, so let me do that real quick. For all intents and purposes, I'm gonna keep you guys off to the side here.
Just make sure to bring over the owlbear token so that I can continue to look at it.
Maybe. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me activate this. Okay. You guys are in the kind of the middle there. Do you guys see where you're at? See the map?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Zorn, you find yourself in this situation here. You were previously over here, like over this area.
Ah.
And then you came from down here past a couple different things and then came up to their spot. So you find yourself talking to this individual here. You see this kind of like this little cobblestone area they kind of set up there. This little kind of like set up shack type building. So yeah, she chimes in. She's like, oh well, why don't you come into the building here, and I've got some interesting blades if you're interested. They're quite nice. They've got like have you ever seen a sapphire before? They've got sapphires on them. It's quite rare. Even if you don't feel like purchasing them, it's quite a sight.
Cool. See, like, let me look at the stuff out here, and I'll make my way inside. That's
Oh,
all
no,
right?
no, please, Daria. Like, come on, you seem like you don't want to bed here in the cold and look at some of this boring stuff. Why don't you come inside?
No, that's where I had my tea.
You want some candy?
So I'm gonna like look at her stuff that's over here, and look like because I'm a normal shopper right now, looking
Yeah.
at stuff.
Okay.
Is there actually anything that's cool or not?
We'll get to that. We're gonna jump back to the rest of the individuals. Dude, this is getting intense here. I'm a little nervous for Zoran here. Okay, so we've jumped back to the rest of you. Investigator Jimothy has put in his little hair follicle, or the long hair follicle, into his little pouch kit thing. He kind of joins the rest of you, kind of indicates what's going on, or warns them about like watching for a long-haired individual. What are you guys doing?
Is the sheriff still here?
He's kind of out front. Yeah, he's like he's kind of with you, kind of like just kind of making sure that no one's kind of like interfering with what you guys are doing.
And Jimothy shared the hair with us.
You
Yeah,
share
I
it with
should
you
be-
guys. Jimothy, I'll let you say if you want to share it with the sheriff as well. You can if you'd like.
Does the sheriff or any of any of their deputies have long black hair?
No. Sheriff Markham is he's buzzed hair.
Then I'll show him.
Okay.
Does he
So
have
this is
short black hair? Maybe this is two hairs glued together.
No, it is not. It isn't. So he says like, very interesting. There's only a few people in town that I guess would have maybe that long of a hair. I'm trying to think.
Who are they?
He's just like, I can't really recall, but I don't see too many people with long black hair here. He's like, I could, can you tell my men to look out and see if they spot anyone and maybe bring them to your attention? Does that work for you?
Great. And I will give him the location where we typically stay the night.
Okay. He's just like, all right, yeah, the North Look, a lot of people stay there. That's no problem. My men will usually frequent by that area. It seems like a popular spot. Shouldn't be a problem. He's just like, I have to head back to kind of see what they do with the body and do other logistical things. Do you need anything else from me?
Do you have the body of the individual who was killed here?
Yes. I mean, I don't personally have it, but it's back at the It's back at the kind of like the sheriff's building.
Would you mind if we took a look at the corpse?
Not necessarily, but I think give it some time while they kind of clean it up a little bit. I don't know. The family of the poor boy kind of figured out as well, and they're over there. So let me deal with them first.
Okay.
Maybe I can have you come by later.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Yeah. Why don't you give me a few hours, and then we'll deal with that. Just come on by. And so then he's just like, so he's just like, yeah, just keep a lookout. Let me know if you figure out anything else. We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. And so he kind of tells one of his men to kind of stick around, just to make sure if anybody else comes by and bothers you guys. And then he and a couple of the other ones, just 2 other men, take off with them to go wherever he's gonna have to deal with. So, what are the rest of you doing now?
I'd probably say I think we've learned all we can here. We should probably figure out what
Interrogate
Zoran has
everyone.
gone off to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, all right. So why don't you guys give me a couple of perception checks, or just say all of you give me a perception check rather. Sorry. See where you guys can find and get back to the. Oh, dang.
Nice.
Got 16, 22, 20, 18. Dang. Okay, no problem. You guys, there's some people that are randomly walking, they have different destinations in and out of the town. You kind of like follow along that there's some, if you're traffic trying to head back towards the middle of the city where some of the markets are at, you kind of hear a couple people chatting about, what's going on here. And then we'll cut back to, as you're going to navigate back, we'll cut back to Zoran. So Zoran, you start looking at some of their wares here. And you end up, actually, I need to maybe move you guys, or I guess you could be coming from that direction, that's fine. You guys, you start kind of looking at some of their wares. Yeah, they have like interesting helms. You notice they have a couple of different armors. You notice that there's a couple of like, little fishing poles. They have a bunch of various different things. And so she's just kind of like leaning back, kind of like her arm is kind of like resting on one of the crates and just kind of watching you observe. Every now and then, she kind of I'll carry over your perception check. Gives a glance over to a couple of the men, glance over at the long-haired individual. And she's just like, did you find anything that interests you, strikes your interest? Maybe I could comment a bit more on anything else. And you notice that there's another individual who approaches the caravan, and they one of the other men kind of goes over to him and give me a perception check. Another perception check. 17. Okay, so you notice that one of the other men, her men, approaches this individual and says like, hey, "Why don't you fuck off?" And then the guy's like, "Okay," and then starts going all the like as soon as he came in, just darted out. So Zoran, what do you say to her?
I can't say anything. Well, I mean about that interaction, but
Well, like her question is asking if anything strikes your interest.
So when I look at the armor, does it seem of the same quality as like the thing that I'm wearing, or?
No, there's some that are nice actually. Like seems like she's selling something of value here. So if you do want to inquire about something, she's got different
So
hides, different
yeah,
medium,
I'm gonna
hard.
I'm gonna ask about maybe the armor and stuff, and just be like, oh, how much are you asking for this stuff over here?
Oh, well, a couple of these go for a couple hundred. Depends which one you pick out. This one here, she kind of holds one up that seems like a one of +1 quality. She's like, this one here will run you a couple thousand. Quite nice,
Oh, and I'm gonna like put that back and be like, it's range. The thousand.
So he's just like, well, like I said, why don't I take you inside, and I'll show you some of the good stuff.
I mean, if good stuff like, I'm gonna see if I can like make my way around, here or something, and see what's over here or something.
Okay. With
if I can.
With your 17, you notice that one of the individuals, as you're kind of like perusing around, starts going to some of the other shops and talking to some of the individuals. And you notice that as you're there kind of looking at things, the foot traffic seems to be dying down a little bit in this area.
So I'm gonna yell at the lady that, I'm gonna look at my tea. I think I'm almost done, probably. Be like, hey, I'm smug, but I'm gonna come back and then we can go inside and look at the stuff you have in there.
All right. Okay. So then you start heading. I say you'd have to go this direction, south. That's where you kind of came from there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you notice. Well, hang on. Hold your horses right there.
I know.
We're gonna bring you back here a second. This guy kind of steps in front of you, and he's just like, "No. I think you're gonna be staying here." And okay, then why don't you all? Why don't Zoran here roll for good old initiative? As something's about to happen here. Okay, so let me add all of you. Actually, let me add everyone to combat.
No, it feels like a gang.
Okay, Zoran. Okay.
I would like to use my inspiration to re-roll that initiative.
Okay. So,
Good idea.
we're gonna it's gonna be kind of like a pseudo thing because you guys haven't quite arrived there yet. But we'll start with Zoran. Actually, Zoran, you get to go first. As this individual kind of steps in front of you, and he looks like he's about to grab you, like grab it. What are you doing?
I mean, you do like dodge and then run, dodge and dash.
Dodge and dash. Okay, you dodge and run. Okay.
Yep, dodge,
So,
dash,
yeah,
and
okay.
dash.
Okay, so then he is going to try to. Okay, so he's coming in first. You're gonna dodge, step out of the way, move past him. So you're going down south. Okay, so move past where, and then he's gonna take his AOO here. It's got disadvantage because you're dodging here.
Oh.
And sorry, go ahead.
Can you update my initiative to 14?
Yes, I can. About. Okay. Between you and Oz, what are your guys' decks here?
My dex is +2, so I'm sure I go ahead of Oz.
My dex is +0.
Okay, great. So the order is good. Okay, so then he rolls to which one was one to roll? Yeah. I rolled well. Let me roll with disadvantage here. Okay, does a 6 beat your AC?
Does not.
Okay, so you're able to get away, and then you can walk, move your movement speed past him. So whatever far up you want to go.
Okay, so like my dread ambusher, because it's the first turn, I can get it increases by 10 feet. So if my regular movement's 35, I can go 45 then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can move past him, or do I have to go around him? I guess I never moved.
You have to go around him, yeah.
Why is that new? Is it moving for you guys? Or am I?
No, I can't see.
No,
You should have ownership of the token, I think.
No, my token's all blurry right now, so I think there's something. I'm just gonna let me read.
Okay. Can the rest of you move your token back and forth? Just test it out. Okay. All right, everyone. Oh.
I think it's just me.
Yes. Go through the buildings. Calm down.
Maybe.
All right. Go back where you were, Oz. What are you doing?
It's the right thing to do,
Oh,
though.
yeah. Now I'm over on Twitch and I'm looking at everyone moving their characters.
Okay.
I guess
we
I
go.
don't even do that. Bye. So, and go there.
Okay. All right. So, that was that. So that's your turn.
Yeah, and I have extra. No, is it just extra attack or extra turn? Let me look. I'm always used to it being an extra attack. Okay.
You didn't think you were going to be in this
situation.
Okay.
And that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
And hope no one catches up to me.
So it is going to be her turn. She's going to shout out, "Where are you running off to, lass? Get her, boys!" And Eat her. And then they're going to start. Next guy's going to start chasing after you. But what's his movement speed? Just to make sure.
And approximately how far away are we? Is that accurate on screen, or are we farther back than that?
So how I'm going to do this is that you guys are not going to be part of this first round here, and then the next round you guys are going to be currently placed where that's at, just to kind of give you guys a bit of a buffer here.
Gotcha.
I want to see kind of how things play out first, as this is going to be kind of a weird chase. As I'm going to try to see how much of the map we're going to use here. Okay. I'll say that you guys can have your turn if you want to think of something or do something that isn't combat specific, but like a perception check. Yeah. Okay, so this guy, 5. 1 second. So he dashes here to try to catch you. Doesn't quite get up to you. Jimothy, it's your turn. Is there anything you'd like to do? Like, you're not really aware of what's going on yet. Roll a perception if you'd like.
I'll just try to remember where. Well, yeah, I guess I'll just. I don't know. What's going on around me? Pay attention to what's going on around me. Situational awareness. What do I see? Anything weird going on around me?
What is your passive perception? We'll use that for now. What is that?
17.
Unless you want to roll. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay. So yeah, you after a bit you do hear somebody shout, "Get him!" You're not exactly sure what that means, but you do hear that kind of come out from the direction that you're heading towards.
Well, that's my attack command, so I'm gonna immediately go that direction.
Okay, great. So we'll say this: they're moving there. The rest of you kind of follow suit. Okay, it is going to be Mr. Long-hair individual's turn. What is he gonna do? Do something a little interesting. What is that? Oh yeah. Okay. So he's gonna start running up behind you there, Zoran. And gonna move here. And then he's kind of like running up behind you. And then you notice that he does something real quick. And then he like appears like right in front of you, cutting you off. And he's just like, "Where are you going?" And then he's gonna take his action to swing at you with his sword. Okay. Then you notice that he pulls out this like long, cold, frozen blade. Why are you so obsessed with me? Oh shit. Okay. Does a natural 20 hit your AC there?
Yeah. I'm not a silo. I don't have. I didn't buy the extra weapon or extra shield.
Jesus. Okay, you're going to take 12 points of slashing damage and 10 points of cold damage as he strikes at you there.
Oh, what was I concentrating?
I don't think you're.
It's probably from the last time you did Hunter's Mark.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was my.
Okay. And that's gonna be actually no, he gets another swing here actually. So he's gonna roll again to hit you.
Just out of curiosity, since she took the dodge action before she ran, would it still be an attack at disadvantage?
Yes, it would. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, then okay, so let's kind of roll this together. With the disadvantage, would a 16 hit your AC then?
Barely.
Okay, so
It's
then
not a crit.
Yeah, reduces the damage. So give yourself back whatever that 10 plus or 12, so 22 points. Give yourself 22 back, and then you actually take oh, that's funny. You actually take 11 slashing, so he did do great, and then only 3 cold damage. So he reduces that. And then I will have him roll the other 2 with the disadvantage. Good catch there.
Sorry. I should have done the dodge on there so I could see it.
No, yeah, please remind me as things go. And then I'm assuming the other one whiffs with a 7 hit your AC. Okay, so there you go. That's a much better situation. Okay, a silo. You notice that Jimothy starts running off. Do you follow suit?
Yeah, seeing that Jimothy has taken off running, I will use my movement and action to sprint and move as far as I can.
Okay. Oh shoot, I completely skipped you there, Buffettes. I didn't realize there. Sorry that there. Sorry there, Oliver. Oh, okay. We'll come back to you here in a second.
Yeah.
You're kind of top of the round. We'll give you two things to do there. Okay. So we got that. Oz.
Why are we running?
Today's
Why does
party
my
event-
group keep trying to run away from me?
Yeah, I know. Asilo's like, what did I do? Does Oz see anyone around that looks like they have long, gorgeous black hair? I mean, Oz has long, gorgeous blonde hair.
Give me a perception check. See if you are. Yeah, give me a perception check. See what you spot. Oh man, I feel bad for that natural 20. So, because I want to give you something. You do spot a long, curly-haired individual. They kind of got to like let it loose. It looks like it's more of like peppered, like not like long black, but like it seems like some of the strands of hair are black, some of the strands are like gray. Seems like more so gray now than black, but it does match the kind of like the length potentially of the hair. They're kind of walking about.
But the one
Kind of
that,
like-
that Jimothy showed was it curly or was it straight?
I mean, it had like a curl kind of like at the end there, but it wasn't like curly.
I was
seems
like,
like-
well, that he feels like it doesn't match.
Okay. So
I guess he'll just shuffle forward
okay.
after the people who are running.
All right. So you press on. Okay. So then we're gonna have so then it's the three other guys. Oh, that's funny. So that's gonna be this whose turn is it this guy? No, it's not this guy. This other guy, he's gonna start chasing down there. Gonna kind of hold his position here. This guy does follow suit. And then kind of positions himself there, uses a whole action there. This guy, what does he do? He doesn't. Yeah, he's gonna hold off. This guy's gonna stay put. Okay, so top of the round. We're gonna do one more round here, and then we're gonna call it because I am tired. I'm surprised I made it this long. So, Ophides, what are you doing? Yeah, you're probably following suit with the rest of the group, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely following suit now that I've seen some people taking off.
And then you come across, you kind of open up this clearing, you notice, you see this individual here. He's just kind of standing there. He's kind of like, you notice he's got a weapon out. Looks like he's got a kind of like a blade of some sort. But
Okay.
you're not exactly sure if he looks like he's just kind of standing there, and he's like got his direct attention focused down south.
I'll say, does he seem hostile towards us at this current moment?
He's not looking at you, so he
Okay.
doesn't seem hostile towards you, but he looks like he's like about to take off to go after someone.
Okay. I am going to give some bardic inspiration to Jimothy.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna kind of keep like this is gonna be real dumb. So I'm gonna keep going. Like just to see if I can see
Okay. So you're
Zoran,
gonna-
because I'm coming up and all I can see is this guy, right?
Right, exactly. You don't see, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you can, you still have your dash. You can dash, kind of like quickly move past to see more if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I'll like,
Loop around there.
yeah, how far was that? That was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, so I can still keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if I went like here and then, so this is my question, because now I'm coming up on these guys and I'm seeing them, right?
Right.
And my assumption is none of them know that we're all together.
Right. Though to be fair though, like this is like the 6 seconds, right? Like you are moving this quickly, like you are flashing through. So it is gonna strike you as
Yeah.
odd. There is gonna strike them as odd as like, the hell's this guy doing running past us, you know?
Okay.
So keep that in mind and how you approach your next few movements.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep dashing, right?
Okay.
And I come around the
So-
corner and I'm seeing what?
Okay, you see these kind of guys chasing after Zorn. You see an individual that matches the description of the individual looking for. Blue eyes, maybe long black hair. It looks like this maybe potential Cephalic Caltro. But as you're running past, I mean, this guy, he's like, hey, where the hell are you going? And he's going to take a swing at you as you run past.
Ooh. Well, so as he's saying that, what I want to do is yell, "City guard that way!" Like I'm a thief running from somebody.
Okay. Give me a deception here. See, and I'll kind of. $19. Okay, so I'm gonna roll for everybody here. Everyone. That's within. It's gonna be everyone. I think that's gonna be able to hear this. So. I like this idea. Okay, I like this. I can. I'm picking up what you're throwing down there. Okay, so why does everybody?
We need them to pick up on it, though.
Yes. Oh my goodness, this might be the greatest rolls yet. Buffet is there. Okay, these. The most important rule. Oh, I knew it. Yeah, I knew it was going to succeed. Let's go. Okay, so, the 3 individuals, the older woman here fails, succeeds. So you got 2 of these guys are kind of not focused on that. Everyone else fails. They hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay. This guy still is going to take a swing at you. This is
Okay.
happening. But just because you're kind of used to, so that's going to be a 24 to hit your AC.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit.
Okay, you're going to take not too bad, 7 points of slashing damage.
I'm so disappointed that even though he believed me, he still hit me.
Well, it was like you ran first, then he struck, then he did that. Like if the order was slightly different, like you were saying that before you moved past him, I would have allowed it. Like since you already moved past him, he was already going to be swinging at you. So that's why I was like, oh, careful there, bud. Okay, you still have some movement speed if you still like to keep going.
Yeah, that was
You were at 45. You think you had a couple more. I think 40 or 45. I think.
yeah, so my goal was just to kind of slide around
Okay.
over here. Basically, like if I fooled these guys, right?
Mhm.
My goal is to just take that hit but keep running like I'm panicked, right? Like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Okay. All right. That is your turn.
And all of that was with the intent to make enough noise that everyone else sort of knows what's going on.
For sure. Okay. So that actually took a little bit longer than I think, as I'm actually really tired. So I think I'm actually gonna probably call it there. I don't want to stop this and like go another 20 minutes from this round here, but I think I'm gonna call it there for the evening. And then we'll pick it up there next time because I am I just really like them.
Well, and since the Phoenix didn't get to go at the top of the round, is he gonna go again then?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I'm gonna play it out here.
Okay.
Yes, you guys did hear Bophades. All of you heard that. And I guess
Fantastic. We
roll-
don't have to do anything. The guard's gonna take care of whatever's going on.
So, okay, so we're gonna stop there. Just because like I feel like this is gonna take a long round here, a long turn, and I don't want to kind of stop too much in between it. So we'll stop there and we'll pick it up with. Oh man, this is gonna be a heck of a combat, and I kind of want it to be in one session. So
All
I feel
right.
like
Yeah.
that's a point. So, yeah.
Zorn
thanks for
didn't
playing.
know what kind of trouble she was walking into in the marketplace when everyone else was investigating.
I was like really nervous for you for a second there because I was like, I don't know how much to de-escalate or escalate this, because they're not good people, so they were gonna do some shady stuff. Okay. Well, cool guys. Thanks for playing again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
See you guys next week.
we'll be back next
See
week
everyone
for more fun and excitement.
Yes.
Heck
Hopefully we'll get
yeah.
a good combat in. It'll probably be a good long one, so be prepared.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm
See
excited.
you guys later.
See you
See you
next
guys.
week.
Yeah.
Hey.